All right.
Hail! Migrated. My special guest, Kung Fu today. Drawn and chilling.
That is Kung Fu.
Phew! Fuck! I can never pronounce it right. Fuck!
Oh, it's okay, brother. It's all right. Hold on a second.
It's all good. All good. Oh, something came in the mail today. Or not today, yesterday. Um, Scott Payne's Chaotic Flux. Got the two issues. I live out in the desert, so don't account for this. Where you live could be different. This could just be happening because, you know, and shipping sitting outside in 3-digit heat, and it could warp the plastic. But came out good. Got a signed copy. Oh, that's the first issue. I bought two. Oh no, the second issue with a peanut. A peanut. Um, all I can say is don't take what I got, because some of the factors could be why my copy seems a little warped and stuff is because of the heat exposure. Exposure. Being out in the desert for too long. Um, yeah. Oops. Yeah. Got a Flux by Scott Payne. Came in. Like I said, the bags could have shrank because of because of the heat where I'm at. Could have happened. So yours could be completely different. So don't worry about that. I lost Kung Fu. Oh, let's see if we can get somebody else. um, I hope everything's good. There we go. You
Yeah,
good, man?
it knocked me out, and then it said we sent you. It said you didn't sign it with your email. We sent you a 6-digit code. So I put in my email. So we sent you a 6-digit code. I went to get the 6-digit code, and yeah, so I'm doing all this stuff on my phone, so it's get a laptop then. Get a new laptop. My old one's fucking crashed. So, but I'm good now. I guess if I boot out again, I just gonna because I want code, so I just gotta enter it. We'll be good. But so
Yeah,
far, so good.
yeah. You're
So
botting a little bit. It's okay though. Could be my headset. My
yeah,
headset's a little weird.
it's I'm used to it. There's a lot of a lot of devices on here at this house. So a lot of laptops and Kindles and computers. So let me see. Let me get this.
Oh yeah, especially when you have them huge live events and everybody's using your phone. You cannot use your Wi-Fi worth the shit.
Yeah, absolutely. Can you hear me? Okay.
Yeah, I hear you fine.
Okay.
I mean, there was a little button problems, but nothing too much to complain about. I mean, internet service. What are you gonna get? Everybody's still locked in their houses. You mute yourself?
Yeah, I muted so that anybody watching this doesn't have to hear me looking around.
Fair enough.
Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, I hear you fine. I was just making sure I didn't lose you again. Ah, shit.
Can you hear me now? All right.
Sorry, I got a really small yard. So when my neighbors behind me, they got a small balcony and they put all their pit bulls on this balcony. So it's over my yard and these dogs are all looking at my dog, driving them fucking crazy.
Well, I know how that goes, brother. So, yeah, last time I talked to you, man, we were chatting a bit online. I remember you said that you got to meet Mike Barron, one of my favorites, dude. That's my guy, man. I love Mike Barron.
Yeah,
EVS and Mike Barron, faves, man. That's really cool. So, tell me a little bit about that, man. I'm really curious.
You heard about the Nexus project he's got with Zach?
Oh yeah, man. Since I finally joined Twitter a little over a month ago, I've been following him and seeing all of his great stuff on there, man. It's really good. You know, Badger I'm a lot more acquainted with, but I know Nexus somewhat, and you know, I'm really excited about checking out the old stuff so I can enjoy the new stuff that comes in Nexus.
Yeah, one of the projects we missed that he was on was what was it? Off-World or Old World, or he was talking about that. He was talking about rebooting it, and basically it was Vikings versus space aliens.
Ah, that sounds fucking cool. He's got quite the imagination, man. That guy, he's really impressive. Sorry, go ahead. I didn't mean to interrupt you.
Yeah, and two other projects he's got coming out that I'm excited for that he's promoting is Florida Man.
Yeah, I've seen that on his Twitter. That looks cool too, man.
And Cue Ball.
Cue Ball. Now that one I gotta check out.
He's more of a pool hustler based superhero or anti-hero.
You know, I just saw the graphic cover he put out for it, but I didn't really catch any backstory. So that's cool. That's what it's about, huh? That's awesome. Nice. That's fucking nice. My push and my all right.
Sorry, don't mean to put you with awkward silence, but better than dogs barking. Fuck. Sorry.
I'm used to it, man. Not a problem. I love doggies. I love all animals, man. Except for rats. Not a big fan of rats, but they leave me alone. I leave them alone.
Yeah, I lived in Baltimore in the early 2000s. They had rats the size of cats then. Trump wasn't lying about that one. Oops. Fuck.
Not on the suburbs, you don't see them. I worked in some pretty rough neighborhoods doing rehab, man, and the rats and the roaches used to bug the shit out of me. And yeah, it made me appreciate living in the suburbs, brother.
Oh yeah. Desert roaches are terrible. Like you'll sit outside at night during the summertime in the desert, and roaches come at you like a fucking horror movie.
No shit, I never heard of desert roaches. I would figure the desert wouldn't be good for them because there's no food out there.
Oh, but you're talking about Las Vegas. You know, it's a small.
Yeah,
it,
but,
it's a small,
they
compact
don't,
area. Sorry.
right, but like, no, it's okay. So, but like you're saying, like they're even out in the desert where there's no people or food. They're just like kind of out there scavenging on anything.
Yeah, they survive.
Mhm.
Yeah, what was it? They can survive a nuclear holocaust. They ain't lying about that. Nope.
Yeah, no, I know that. I just figure, like, they just stick to where there's lots of people, but like you just don't find them in nature where there's not a lot of trash and shit to eat. They just follow like large. I guess that doesn't make. Yeah, I've seen some pretty bad places out in the country, I guess, that have had some infestations. I know I've been lucky. I've avoided the roaches, in my personal life because I've worked some really bad rehab jobs where these houses were infested, man. We'd light up a bug bomb, get out of there, come back, they'd all be dead, and they'd just be all over. It'd be like a Stephen King novel, brother. It'd be bad news. So.
Damn. Yeah, yeah. What was it? I live near this one place called Pahrump. It's notorious. Like like it's on that live PD show all the fucking time because of all the crazy shit that happens there. I mean, you got everything there. You got big cat people. Um,
Yeah.
you got the craziest animal cruelty cases you hear of out there. You got like one time I was driving home from work and I saw all these police cars just zooming by me, and it was over a street brawl and a shooting, and the cops were chasing the guy down who got shot at the emergency room to arrest him. And it was like a
No
20-man
shit.
street brawl. And then there was another case where there was a woman who was stabbed in the stomach, and apparently she was a victim of a case of other undocumented abducted women that were hidden in this guy's basement.
Ah, jeez, it's terrible.
And this
It's
is like
just,
a small hick town, like literally a small like one street, 4 stoplights town. Oh, you know
yeah,
Heidi
I
Fleece,
guess.
right?
Oh yeah, Heidi Fleiss, absolutely, yeah.
Yeah, she lives out there. She was arrested out there notoriously. That's the same place where Lamar Odom notoriously overdosed.
Yeah, I saw something about Heidi Fleiss. She was like, thought she was living somewhere up by like the Salton Sea or something. Yeah, somewhere out in the desert. I remember that.
Salton Sea is fairly close to here.
Yeah. Man, I don't know how you couldn't look at Heidi Fleiss and be like, yeah, that one's trouble. She'd probably stay away. Jeez. Well,
you be surprised.
No, I'd say, I was a man one time. Still, still pretty young, but a lot wiser in my latter years here, I guess. But yeah. So was this about Mike Baron? So was that at a convention that he went to, or was it some kind of a comic book thing he was doing? I know he writes a lot of books too. Was he just promoting something? Where was this at again?
No, it was a stream I was going on with this one guy, helping him with his comic and universe.
Okay.
And
yeah.
Oh.
Sorry.
No. This guy came on. I guess his agent or somebody. He's like, hey, Mike Baron wants to come on and promote his book. He's got a few minutes, and he really wants to talk to the guy who I was on the stream with.
Really?
And yeah, he came on, and I was like, man, that name sounds familiar. And
right.
It took me a second, and then he came on, and then he mentioned the books. I'm like, holy shit, Kung Fu mentioned you. I didn't realize you were on Nexus. Fuck, I watched that documentary too about Steve Rude. Fuck.
Yeah.
Huh?
He's more popular for Nexus than Badger, But I love Badger, man, just because I was in martial arts growing up as a nut when I was a kid. I still am. I just I don't go to classes anymore, but I still love the whole thing of it. And he's a martial artist too, so I find some kinship there as well. He's a funny guy, isn't he? He's just he cracks me up.
He's a funny guy on his memes. On his appearance, he was mostly business, which understandable.
Right.
He was trying to get out what he was trying to post out what he's working on because he wasn't noticed. He was trying to be like, "Hey, I'm here. I exist."
Right. Well, I mean, he's been, he's Marvel. He's worked with all the big leagues. I just have to, obviously he's all business when it comes to that. I'm just saying, like on Twitter, I've been corresponding with him on Twitter just back and forth a little bit. He's been goofing with me. He put out a tweet and I put a joke back on there, and he retweeted. He thought it was funny. It was funny. It was something about during coronavirus lockdown, bears are practicing kung fu. So I was like, I tweeted a gif of a Russian bear like doing karate kicks at a real guy, and I was like this. So yeah, he just jokes with me a lot on Twitter since I've been following him. So yeah, he's not doing business promotion stuff. He's just he's got a good sense of humor.
Yeah. Plus he looks like he's getting new to the networking thing like us all.
Right. Yeah. It takes some getting used to. I had to straighten some shit out, man, because EBS is my guy, man. I mean, I fucking love EBS, and I love Mike Barron, man. I love both their work, and I saw on Mike Barron's thread that some dipshits were trying to fucking fuck with him, and they're saying, "Oh, it's EBS using a stock puppet account." So I screenshot them and I sent them to EBS, and I was just like, "Hey, EBS," I'm like, "Just let you know they're doing this stuff." I'm like, I don't mean to pry, man, but I'm like, I love both you guys. Whatever I wrote to him, but he shot me a DM back just saying, "Nah," he's like, "I didn't do this. They're gaslighting Barron," and he's like, "What a bunch of dicks." So I just told Mike, I'm like, "Yeah, that's not EBS." And I'm like, you guys. I told Mike Barron, I'm like, EBS has never said an unkind word about you, because he hasn't. I actually brought him up on the show when I was in the comments. EBS, I'm lucky enough, he notices me, he reads out my comments and answers my questions once in a while. And I'm like, you ever hear of Mike Barron? And he's like, "Oh yeah," and I asked him if he ever read The Badger, and he's like, "No, I haven't." But he said something about Mike Barron. He's like, he's like, Mike Barron's Comicscape, but he just doesn't know it yet.
Mm-hmm.
I think the thing is, though, Mike Barron is he's definitely a patriot and a freedom guy. He's not a Trumper. I can tell from his threads. He doesn't like Trump, and that's cool. So he probably just doesn't want all the hassle that comes with with Comicscape, because of he's just doing good right now. So he figures don't mess the waters, and I respect that. Everybody's got to do what they got to do. But I just thought it was funny seeing that these guys were trying to convince him that EBS was fucking with him when EBS wasn't. It's like, you can tell people don't want Mike Barron to join Comicscape, because that would be a pretty good alliance, I think. But I don't think it's going to happen. But still, like, why were they trying to turn him against EBS?
Not with EBS, but definitely with Zach. That's huge. Nexus being written by your boy Zach and drawn by Aaron Alfalci. That's a big deal.
Man, good point, dude. I didn't even think about Zach. You're right. Yeah, absolutely, man. Yeah, man, Zach, another one. What a great guy, man. What a nice guy. Salt of the earth, that guy. I love watching his videos when I can. I got so much I follow, I follow so many channels and stuff, and now with Twitter. And then I quickly get my own silly life. But yeah, Zach, he's just he's a great artist, and he's a nice guy. It's two big pluses for me. It's basically all I ask,
Yeah. Well, it's all our attentions is, well, the main mission is just to try to make comics great again.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely.
Oh, go on then. I'm
No,
autistic.
I was just agreeing. Yeah, no, I was just agreeing with you. Yeah, I think they are making comics great. That's what it's not even making it. It's made, comics great again. Just not for the mainstream yet, but it's gonna. Uh, that's something, artistic freedom and just good business sense is always going to win out eventually. You know, the Kathleen Kennedys of the world, they can't rule forever because that shit don't sell.
Mhm. Well, even whatever is going on right now, it's not really helping each other. I mean,
Right.
you can all be mad at each other for all day, but it's like I look at the stuff, like I posted off all the stuff that I purchased, and like I got war campaign tags. I backed Vestige. I back Cash Grab.
Right.
I backed Graveyard Shift. I mean, fuck, I even backed the Allegiant stuff because I wanted to help Kelsey, and I don't even care for Kelsey that much.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know a whole lot about the war campaign thing. My buddy here, he follows. He knows a lot about it, and I just can see all the drama that they're causing with TBS. It's just like, and this thing too. I'm sure a lot of those guys are cool, and it just seems like there's a couple people kind of speaking for everybody that are starting the trouble. But it's anti-productive, man. It's like we both want the same thing. You would think so. There shouldn't be this type of infighting, man. It's like, we still got a joyless blue giant to slay.
Exactly.
A soy
Exactly.
giant. So keep me up to. So how's it going with the Templar, brother? What's new? What's latest? Fill me in, man. I can see what you're doing.
I'll do some screen sharing with you for a second, so.
Yeah.
All right. You see it?
Yes.
Sorry about my dogs barking. Oh, motherfucker. Oh. I'm a dummy. Sorry, sometimes
there it is.
that bitch bark is piercing through the ears.
I'm pretty good at that stuff. I know a lot of people online during streams. The tiniest thing people can get goofy about, but that's not me unless it's like excessive. It doesn't bother me, and I'm on my phone here anyway, so it's not like I'm all amped up with 10 speakers around me or anything crazy.
Right on, right on.
So
I redid this page.
Okay.
I
like it.
You like it? Cool.
Yeah.
Made it a little more
absolutely.
simpler looking.
Yeah, I love the you always get those Gothic windows, man. That design really good, man. I really like that.
Thank you. The second page is still this one, kind of the same, kind of a choke-like body slam.
Nice.
Hang on. Fine. Sorry about that. Fucking neighbors can deal with them now.
Sir. What kind? You can see you got a pit bull?
German Shepherd, but he's a temporary stay.
Okay. I like those dogs. I never had one, but I had a buddy that had German Shepherd. It was really sweet to me, man. Not so much to strangers, but that's what they're for.
Unfortunately, he's way too much high maintenance because you got to constantly cradle him, and my wife doesn't understand because his front legs, simple
Yeah,
terms, are retarded. So the
yeah.
vet even told her, because she's such a control freak, she likes to take all the dogs to the vet and get all the detailed instructions, that he can't jump and go on his front legs. And it's like, he's a German Shepherd. He's a dog designed to run and jump.
Uh-huh.
So it's like, I can't accommodate his lifestyle anymore. And you keep on
Right.
not having me talk to the vet or figure out any kind of the health things to figure out anything to work for him. So the fuck am I supposed to do? So it's like, I
Yeah.
can't do this. I can't sit at home, cradle a dog and just sit there and let this dog hurt itself if you're not going to let me do anything to help it or treat it or train it, because
You,
she lets it act like a small dog, which he's jumping everywhere and hurting his front paws. So it's like, find
no,
somebody
I don't
else who's
understand.
gonna adopt them.
I don't understand. Can you explain that to me? Like, what is cradling or cradling? Is that the same thing as? Yeah, I've heard people doing that. I know it's like to kind of help dogs that cry a lot or something. Is that what it's for?
No, she's basically treating this large dog like a tiny 5 pound full grown Chihuahua.
Okay. Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, I can't do that.
and 100 pound Chihuahua will get you sued.
Yeah, I can see that. That would be a problem.
And I really don't want that in my hands. And since he has these major health problems, and I'm still 35 years old, still trying to pay off debt and shit like that, and school debt and stuff like that,
Yeah.
I don't have I don't have the time or the patience to really be taking care of a 100 pound Chihuahua that has health problems that are way beyond my means. I mean,
Well, yeah, that's a yeah.
the last month I got fired from dumping shit, and that was only making $25 a day.
I remember that. It was fucked up, brother. Bullshit.
And it's fucked up because it's like, really, lady, you got a dog, and I see dog shit right here in this hallway. I got to see bird shit on the stairs, and when this pandemic happened, nobody went out of their way to clean this or power washing it. So you're just yelling at me
Yeah.
out of convenience. There's no
Yeah. You
point.
know, the whole thing. Right.
Sorry.
Yeah, man. The whole thing's such a mess. It's so disorganized. You know, I mean, I see people in California that they can't leave. You know, they couldn't leave their fucking houses. I don't think they still can't leave their house. Right? They're doing it because they're like, "Fuck you, man. This is bullshit." And then New York. I mean, I hear they're relaxing now, but in Illinois, man, I mean, it was obviously a lot of shit has shut down, but everything was just suggested. You know, nobody was getting arrested for stuff. And then the governor just recently, Pritzker, he just announced that you have to wear a mask in the stores. You know, he declared an edict, which I just think is bullshit because, you know, it's not a good thing in America with the Constitution. Just have people deciding things without being ratified. You know, you don't just fucking. You're not an emperor. You're not supposed to be. You know the deal. But
Mm-hmm.
at any rate, I've been shopping for months without a mask. I won't wear a fucking, mask, unless, I'm running an old person or somebody who's at risk. Sure, I'll do that for somebody I know. But we've been all shopping in the Walmart and all those stores that are open. And then all of a sudden now, after a couple months of this bullshit, now I got to wear a fucking mask. And I have to do that because, I got to eat and I got a little girl I got to feed. So, yeah, like I'll put on a mask when I go in the Jewel or the Walmart. But it pisses me off, man. And I keep it below my nose because, you know, I wear glasses, and it'll steam up my glasses breathing through a fucking mask, you know? Can't fucking
Oh
see.
yeah.
So it's gone, and and it's not one of those masks like I used to wear when I was sanding drywall, you know, in the in rehabbing houses. You know, it's just like one of those real easy small masks you just put right over you, and that's it. I mean, I go shopping really as little as I have to for groceries. Put that thing on, get in there, get it done, and get out. And even that, you know, it's aggravating. And when I see the death toll of this thing, man, you know, 100,000 people for all this bullshit, it just doesn't seem right. Not to me, you know, whatever. I know everybody's divided on it, but I don't like taking sides, man. But if I'm forced to, I fucking will, you know?
Well, even with my garbage job, nobody took it. You know, you would think you'd be more courteous to the garbage man, but no. You know, I was dumping people's feces. It was leaking all over my back, and you know, I was running back and forth to work. That month, it was pouring rain the first week. Oh, it was horrible.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I, I tell anybody I see that's out like doing public service, man. I'm like, hey, man, how you doing? You know, I talk to them. I always try and be courteous and hey, man, thanks. You know, I appreciate what you're doing. You know, I know it's like there's a lot of people that are afraid of like, you know, getting this flu or whatever, but they're out there, you know, doing the shit that needs to be done for the country, man. And you know, I don't take that for granted. I don't take anything for granted. You know, that's just not me. Not anymore. You know, I mean, when I was young and dumb, maybe to a point, but you know, eventually you fucking grow up. You're supposed to.
Yep.
So you know, they're lost, brother. You know, I know it sucks for you, but they just lost a good employee. That's the way I would. That's the way I see it, anyways. And you know, you're a smart guy. You're a talented guy. I'm sure you know you'll be able to, you know, refill that with somebody that will appreciate you.
Yeah, I have something coming up, and supposedly, so I'll be fine. And then,
You know, I just saw something on. It was pretty fucking. I was, you know, yeah. I mean, my daughter's starting college, so you know, I mean, everything's about her, and
you already saw this one already. Oh, I
I just saw
redid
this
this
thing
fourth
online.
page. Oh, who we got here? Oh, Bucky ABX. What up, Bucky?
You get somebody else in the chat.
Yeah, I hope I didn't miss him. No, it's not necessarily finished. Yeah, it's not finished. Plus, I'm adding 11 more pages to this one shot, and whatever else if I design any stretch goals. But this is kind of a here. This is what the Templar is. This is what the character is. This is what the world's gonna kind of be like. Kind of like this one's kind of like a one-shot short story, and then maybe stretch goals with some short stories and some designs of kind of the world like one shots. Who knows? Who knows?
That looks good, man.
Yeah, I didn't like that one page. It always bothered me. So redid that. Still got to put the line work and the shadowing in. But this is going to be like the first part where he talks. Then, oh shit, this is fucking backwards. What the fuck? Oh, so yeah, this is backwards. So it's a zoom out, and then it goes to well, talk kind of like a zoom in of Jesus, and then a zoom out of the one guy nailed to the cross, and then this other panel where see the kind of gimp-like guy,
Nice.
and then I don't know. I should change this up, this upper left-hand panel. What do you think?
I'm looking right now. Well, obviously, I think another professional artist like yourself would be a better person to ask, because for me, it's like it's all impressive to me, bro. But I think I like the.
I ain't a professional. I'm just trying to.
You're out of me.
I'm just trying to get the person who wants to go home, who's on the train ride or on our lunch break, who wants to just read a story. I want to read a.
Yeah. Well, you
want
talented
that
artist, though. I mean.
Yeah. Sorry.
That's okay. I like the top one. What about you? You got to be itching towards one more than the other. What do you think?
Well, this panel is just conveying that he's got this other guy. He's locking the end of the chain right here to the bottom of the eye socket of the cross, because what he's gonna be at the end is a natural anchor. And then this is a zoom out.
Oh, okay.
Where the scumbag that he pulled on the dog chain that's connected at the bottom is staring at the other guy like, what the fuck am I doing here? Looking at this guy, what the fuck is going on? And then the Templar is back here changing the bit on his hammer, and he's changing it into a mouse hole bit, which you see. Why the fuck do I got my pages disorganized? Oh, sloppy. He comes back and he drills a mouse hole in his heart where his chest cavity is. So
yeah.
Yeah.
So he's setting them up for a gruesome kill. Yeah, very cool.
Yeah, it's very. Yeah, and this part is where it gets raunchy. This was a friend of mine's idea like 10 years ago when I first created the Templar. This was the first thing he's like, you should do it like this. I'm like, really? That's really fucked up. He's like, it's a comic book. I'm like, okay. So here's a scumbag right here staring at the Templar while the other guy's like, I got a chest hole, and he's like, yeah. Now you gotta fuck him in that hole I made. So this is a close up of the scumbag pulling down his pants, and then the guy laying down there in the cross in horror in his last moments, knowing he's gonna be raped in that hole, and he's gonna have his penis fucking pounding him in his heart. So we got a close up right.
Yeah. It's twisted. I like it.
Yeah, it is.
Sounds like something.
It wasn't me. I'm just going with it for a friend who gave me the idea. So
I've written some horror stories that have gotten pretty. I like to write. I'm a writer. That's probably where artistically I think I'm best. And yeah, I've gone down some pretty good rabbit holes, man. I mean, that's what's fun. It's just fantasy. It's harmless, and I don't do it just for the sake of just for shock value. I like to have some kind of inspire some kind of an emotion in the person, or reaction, and that's what you're doing. That's what it's about, man. It's just making it interesting and making it fun when people suspend their disbelief.
Yeah. I mean, this is kind of with some people, it's not going to appeal to some people because it's not a superhero per se. Superhero because it's kind of a realism.
Right.
So,
It's like an anti-hero.
yeah, kind of like it's an anti-hero, but yeah, most of the superheroes, like, he's not going to be able to take Silkworm because Silkworm's got is basically Spider-Man. He wouldn't be able to take Vincent because Vincent's a fucking super alien vampire. So,
Right.
you know, he's a human being. So that's
Yeah,
the
no,
interesting part about him, I guess, is basically what he can't do is, you know, he's limited to what he is as a human.
yeah, I mean, the archetypes put out there, you know, I mean, it's a familiar archetype, but I like, you know, I like the whole, you know, Boondock Saints type of vibe with it. You know, that's cool. That's definitely. Hey, man, if you love the Boondock Saint movies, you can like Templar, where I see it. You know.
Oh, there is some Boondock Saints influences in here. There are.
Right. Yeah. Just, you know, a
There's
nice. You can tell influenced by it a little bit.
There's a short story that I'm working on that's not even set in the same time. It's basically where the Templars came from, and it's an origin story of one of the characters that I've been drawing the whole time, Mia Higgins, the police girl. It's her whole background story of kind of who she is.
Nice.
And it's
now,
kind of huh?
I was just going to ask real quick. With I know everybody kind of does things differently, but with some of the other comic guys that you talk to, is it normal to like write out the story first in your head and then do the drawing first, or are you like just inspired by images, do those, and then, I mean, kind of like as you go along, you're doing the story as you're just doing the images. Like, how does the writing process work like that?
Well, honestly, this came up in just scenes and dreams in my head, and just my response, my idea of how stupid it was with the rise of real life superheroes.
Uh-huh.
Just because they weren't really doing anything effective. When you found out what they were actually doing, they were just going to bar fights and pepper spraying everybody at a bar fight and beating the shit out of everybody and making things worse.
Yeah.
Than better.
Right.
The Templar was basically a response of what would a real life Punisher be like? And
right.
And originally it was he was during the time he was kind of more like Dexter. In
Dexter,
some way.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, he was more like Dexter, but the problem was when I was still working on creating him, he was still flat, and then it made it too boring because you still knew who the Templar was. So I kind of decided it would be much more interesting if you didn't know who the Templar was. The reader didn't know. He was more of a third character in the story. You have these little one sets, but it's more like I still don't know who this guy is. I mean, that's the one thing that would have been much more interesting about Batman is if you didn't know who the fuck Batman was. And that's
right.
What was much more interesting about the villain stories is because the villains don't fucking know who Batman is.
Right.
So
yeah, that is important.
I mean, what was it? One of my favorite character pieces about the Joker was written by Brian Azzarello, where in the end, the Joker's finally facing off with Batman, and he's talking about why he's got this one piece, this chin that's perfectly chiseled, this beautiful chin, and why is it just the only piece that's out there? And Batman's only answer with a shit grin is just to mock you.
Yeah.
it was kind of funny in kind of a way.
Yeah, definitely, man. I always liked that about that was kind of the suspense too. Like I remember when I was a little kid just watching the old Adam West and Burt Ward, show. It was always fun, because that was part of the plot. It was, their identity being discovered. And I mean, shit, there's been how many episodes revolve around just that, them finding out Bruce Wayne's identity, which adds a lot to it. That gives, obviously that gave Bob Kane quite a bit to work with, and all the subsequent Batman storytellers.
Yep. Hail. Hail.
Hail.
Let me refresh this shit. Make sure the chat's up to date.
Yeah, man. I just bought a new charger for my phone. And it's I'm watching my juice turn, even though I get my charge going. So if I juice out.
So this is still a work in progress. This is where both scumbags finally connect.
Okay.
And it's really, really raunchy. It's gonna be, it's really, really raunchy. And
is he like putting his hands through his chest there?
Huh?
Is he like putting his hands like through his chest? Is he like gutting him?
No, he's pulling his shirt. So
okay.
So he has a grip while he's sodomizing him in that chest cavity that he's made.
Jeez.
And he's horrified because he can still feel the beating heart.
Yeah, I'll do it.
We got Templar in the background with his revolver, and he's telling him because the Templar knows it's wrong that he's doing, so he's like, hey, this is the only way I know you can tell me to stop. So he's playing Russian roulette with himself.
Yeah, that's good. It's fucked up. Is it still just me and you in the chat?
If Bucky's still here, I don't know if Bucky's still here.
Yeah, I felt like I don't know. I never streamed from my channel, but I don't know if like you get an alert, some kind of a ding. I always feel bad like we're bullshitting and somebody's trying to talk to you. Like I don't want to be stopping them, bullshitting with their asking you questions. But
it don't hurt my feelings. Like I said, I got the Asperger's. I'm a high end sometimes, so sometimes I come off slow. Sometimes I get too antsy and excited because of all the caffeine. So you got to forgive me. I can forgive you if you can forgive me. Fair enough?
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, besides that, I get all that myself, and I don't have Asperger's, so I can relate. I get antsy, and I get flubbered. I'm on all kinds of different sleeping schedules. All kinds of different shit going on. And my daughter, she's over here. She's at her mother's. And I got a giant family. Yeah, I hear you, man. Hey, I don't know if you saw, but on Netflix, that thing I had on mute is Altered Carbon Re-Sleeved. It's an anime movie, and it is fucking awesome, bro. I don't follow a lot of anime, but this is the shit, man.
I saw that. That's an anime?
Yeah, can you see it right now? Yeah.
Let me put it up. Sorry. What the fuck am I doing wrong? Sorry. Fuck. What the fuck am I doing wrong? I'm come on. There we go. Sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen
Yeah, it's
Netflix.
it's man, I'm telling you, if you get a chance to watch it, brother, it is fucking awesome. It is just really wild, man. It's based off the TV series, I think, as far as the concept, but it's not it's not the same as the TV show. But like, yeah, it's it's pretty much like Yakuza in outer space, like other Earth type of planet. It's like, basically like the universe is expanded and populated all over the
Oh, that's
cosmos,
cool.
and yeah, the Yakuza still reigns, and basically you can download your consciousness into a body flesh suit, which they can clone, and so like basically it's that old chestnut about the guy going to get revenge for past deeds, but it's just really cool because basically it's like the only thing that you have to worry about. You don't got to worry about the physical body dying so much, but like everybody's downloaded onto this like deck, this chip. So if they destroy your chip, you're fucking gone. But you're pretty much immortal as long as you got your chip, right? So yeah. And the anime is just it's as you can see the style. It's kind of like the 3D, the newer style, which I really like. And just the colors and the graphics, it's just top notch, man. For Netflix, I like it, man.
I see they like
And the
bisexual
story,
lighting.
yeah, there's a lot, but it's definitely a masculine story, and it's got some pretty good nub in there with the ladies.
Hail.
I do, yeah, absolutely, all hell. No SJW in this, as far as I can see. It's all normal anime stuff. So yeah, as you can see, like right here, see he's getting a new body. Consciousness was digitized and stored on a device called a stack. Digital consciousness becoming one's identity, nothing but a replaceable vessel. And in an age where bodies became disposable, it's called a sleeve. That's why it's called re-sleeved. Physical death no longer inspired any fear or dread in people. And the rich started to enjoy lifespans that were as long as the stars, as I'm reading my captions here. So yeah, it's pretty much just all it goes about this. There's his new body getting jacked out there, but yeah, it's all all takes place in a Yakuza hotel. Pretty much a lot of the story, aside from the action scenes, and he's protecting this young girl who's like a tattoo artist for the Yakuza. And there's a lot of plot involved. Obviously, I don't want to spoil too much, but it's fucking great, man. I'm new to anime somewhat. I mean, obviously, like Ninja Scroll, that's one of my favorites. But a lot of the TV shows I haven't seen or watched.
Definitely check out Fist of the North Star.
Now, Fist of the North Star, I do know. Obviously, I've seen the live action movie and I loved it, and I've seen the comics. I have seen the comics Fist of the North Star. But I have to the actual anime Fist of the North Star. I do have to still see. I have not seen that yet.
Yeah, it's definitely a good watch.
Yeah, did you ever see the live action movie?
Yeah.
I know it's kind of. I thought it was still kind of fun. It's a good way to introduce Western audiences back. In the '90s, nobody had heard of it really.
I gotta be honest, if it wasn't for that movie, I wouldn't have got into the anime.
Yeah, that movie, I fucking love that movie, man. That movie is cool as fuck, man. My buddy turned me onto that. He brought in like my buddy brought in like an old VHS tape, man. He, like one of those copies, and we watched some North Star, and I was just blown away. I was like, this is fucking awesome,
Yeah.
But the anime, it's because I'm.
Huh?
What's that?
I was gonna say, if I gotta admit, if it wasn't for those bad movies, the Guyver and Fist of the North Star, I wanted to fucking gone back and watch the animes. I wanted to.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I got a lot of friends that are in anime. So that's pretty much how I've been exposed to it. But yeah, like I had never even kind of known. We're talking back in the '90s when that movie came out, man. I had no idea like how cool that shit was, and that's like just like you, man. That's how I was into it. That's why I went out and bought the comic, and just like you, that's how it goes. So, in Western audiences, we are used to seeing things a little bit differently. So, whatever works. And Netflix is doing a good job of that right now. Like they're making live action movies of the anime for Western audiences to get them into it. But the thing is, man, when I missed out for this long on anime, when I see these TV shows, I mean, I'd have to be like 150 years old to watch it all. There's so much, stuff out there, a lot out there.
Don't worry
shit,
about it.
I like to. Yeah, I like to read books and comics and watch movies. Movies like I like a lot more just because I can digest them very quickly. TV shows obviously take a lot of your time. So if it's a TV show I'm going to watch, it's got to be like something special,
Yeah, I feel you there.
But,
God, I just
anyway.
started slowly watching Barry.
Barry? I haven't heard of that one. What's that one?
That's the one about the hitman that decides to stay in LA and become a hitman. I mean, become an actor.
Oh, okay. I haven't heard. That's an anime?
Oh no, it's an HBO show.
Yeah, see, I don't watch HBO unless it's like I don't know, something that somebody tells me is something. Last show I watched on HBO was True Blood, and that's because my sister liked it, so I watched it with her, and I liked it. That was before the whole vampire, werewolf, witch shows were a dime a dozen. So I think True Blood was actually pretty cool. It's funny. It was gory. It's what I liked in horror. But yeah, I haven't seen Game of Thrones. I haven't seen any of the tentpoles of HBO that a lot of people are into.
Game of Thrones.
That's not true. Actually, I did.
Last couple of seasons.
Oh yeah, man. So I've heard. So yeah, actually, I'd say that's not true. The last show I watched on HBO was The Leftovers. Did you check that one out at all?
No.
Where everybody was. Dude, yeah, it's fucking good, man. I couldn't get enough of it, man. I watched all 3 seasons, all 3 summers. Yeah, where everybody's raptured and they don't know what the fuck happened. It's fun. Kind of would be cool to go a little bit longer, but actually, the 3 seasons they gave us were really good, and they did end it, answering your questions. They didn't do like a J.J. Abrams with Lost, where you're just like, what? What the fuck was that? So
what show you're talking
about? I appreciate that, man. The Leftovers.
The Leftovers.
From HBO.
Okay. Yeah. Just making sure you were
still
talking about The Leftovers.
Yeah, like Lost. Everybody was pissed off with I don't know if you ever watched Lost, but everybody's pissed off with the ending because it didn't really answer the questions they wanted. It really left them hanging a bit. And with The Leftovers, they didn't leave me hanging. They answered all the questions, for the most part. I just think it was a weird show to do. Anyways, it was very brave to do that kind of show. And that's the thing I worried about is I'm like, if I'm going to invest my time in this, don't leave me hanging at the end of it. And they didn't, so I don't mind leaving a little bit of air of mystery, but just don't pull the fucking JJ where you're just, you don't give me an ending because you're just, I don't know, don't have the talent or you're just lazy. I don't know what the deal is with J.J. Abrams. I used to like some of his stuff. Yeah, I mean, Mission Impossible 3, he directed that. It was a fucking great action movie. He didn't tell you what the rabbit's foot was in that movie, but whatever. That wasn't a deal killer. And then I did love Super 8. That was probably my favorite one by him. With you remember that one with the kids, the little kids?
Yeah, Super 8 was okay. It was It was kind of Cloverfield and the Goonies.
Yeah,
But
right.
I wasn't complaining about it. At least it fed my nostalgia.
That's what. Yeah, it definitely brought me back to that Spielberg era. You know, I think Spielberg produced that one. And yeah, that's what I liked about it. You know, it was just fun. I love the Goonies. I love all the type of '80s stuff. That was my era. So yeah, yeah, it was a fine movie. I mean, it's not like my top 10 favorite all time, but it was a good watch. I'd recommend it. But anything after that, yeah. And Cloverfield, he didn't direct, so whatever. I saw it in the theater, and I liked it because it was new at the time. You know, you can have a bunch of movies like that. I'd never seen a movie use the found footage with the good special effects. That was something that I'd never seen before. You had all kinds of low budget found footage movies. Yeah, Cloverfield was the first one where you had like a found footage, but they had a big budget behind it. All the other found footage were usually horror movies, low budget, they're indie projects, you know. So, you know, anytime they break the barrier or something new, that's always, you know, what I like. Obviously, something you haven't seen before is what I'm about. But most people. If you excuse if you can hear my phone beeping like that, man, I get all these fucking notifications. I gotta shut them off.
It's okay. I always think somebody's in the back room. It makes me pay more attention.
Yeah.
Sometimes I forget somebody's back there.
Yeah. I made the mistake of downloading a couple those free casino apps where you just do like on my phone I can just play like some scratch offs or video poker or slots, and it's free. Basically, you watch a 30-second commercial, and then they give you more tokens to play and that type of shit. And you can win real money. They all kind of pretty much tease you. You get close to the payout, and then they start giving you a couple pennies. But still, it's entertaining to me because I don't gamble for money, not very often. And yeah, I'm getting, if they're gonna pay me to play a video game, even $20, sure. But the thing is for whatever reason, I started getting all these notifications when I downloaded like one or two of these apps for these video game slots, and they're always trying to send me shit like, you might have won this prize. Give us all your fucking info. And, answer these questions and all this bullshit. It's just money for data. And I'm always like, stop, I always like, stop this text, stop this notification. And it will for a while, but I'm sure they just recycle it. So, yeah, it is what it is. Anyway, sorry, I don't mean to ramble.
No, you're good. We got those apps out here in Vegas. Discounts for the casinos. Too bad they're useless right now.
Yeah, I saw your mayor on the news getting harassed by CNN.
Yeah, you know what's funny about her?
What's that?
She's a whole generation of fucking mayors. Her husband was the mayor before she was.
Yeah, like a dynasty, huh?
Uh-huh. Fucking.
They want to attack her because she wants to open up the businesses, and she said like, "Hey, we're going to do it safe. We're going to do it, as responsible as possible." And they were still like, "Well, isn't it irresponsible?" It's, and she's like, "It's irresponsible to fucking just, let everybody go fucking broke and just let their lives destroyed over a flu." In so many words, and they're, I don't watch CNN, but it was on some clip of a show I watch that kind of watches that crap for me and then just shows you, hey, here's the bullshit that CNN is saying today. And you just watch it for 5 minutes, see what the bullshit is, and go, okay. So that's what they're playing today. But yeah, I feel bad for her watching that clip. It was, I don't know what type of mayor she is. She might be, she might be good, she might be corrupt, but
it's Vegas. It's what you expect out here in Nevada. It's a bunch of bullshit. Bunch of pandering.
Yeah, it's the same out here, man. We got gambling boats out here, in Chicago, and you know how it is. So I'm not too far from Joliet, not too far. And they put in those boats, and they were supposed to help pay for the schools. And Joliet is, let's just say the schools aren't top notch there, unless you talk about a private school. So they're just pocketing all that cash. But hey, man, you know, I'm a freedom guy. Hey, man, if you want to go and put your money in casino, that you should have the right to do that. I'd rather have it not be illegal, because that just creates a black market.
Yep. Well, what's weird out here is really there wasn't that much that was really closed. Pretty much anything could have been an essential business besides the, you know, adult entertainment casinos and tobacco stores. But pretty much every restaurant had takeout. Anything that had Uber Eats was open, so every Uber driver was working. I mean,
yeah, it's like that out here. You know, like basically all the mom and pop shops are closed and all the big stuff's open. You know.
Yeah.
I don't know how they can discriminate like that. I don't know why it's okay for people to, you know, all be in one big store instead of everybody spread out in a bunch of little stores. You would think the little stores would be more safe if people were worried about catching stuff, but well, we just won't.
Well, what else was even hilarious was there'd be women out here, because where I live it already gets hot. There'd be women out here. They're wearing masks, but they're wearing booty shorts and tube tops. Like, you know, you're not even protecting yourself. And then eventually you see that same girl posing for pictures with her food, having a picnic outside. And it's like, okay, it's dumb. Even even when my wife and I went out to eat, you know, they decided to just have every other table be skipped, and then the waiters be masked.
Right.
Waiters being masked and gloved, fine. That's actually helpful. But
right.
But fucking A. You know, separating the tables and segregating them, no fucking point at all. You're just fucking compromising your business, optimizing all your, you know, ruining your own sales just by being open that extra effort. You might as well just have carry out. You know?
Right. Yeah. How long ago did they reopen the restaurants? I mean, didn't they have everything shut down for a while there, right? The restaurants were closed all over the country.
Not here in Vegas. All the restaurants were still open. As long as you had Uber Eats, even the mom and pops places, as long as you had Uber Eats, you were fine. Vegas is a real huge capitalist city. So
right, yeah, like that's the same on here. You could do Uber Eats, but like obviously you couldn't go into the restaurant. But did they okay people to start going physically into the restaurants now?
Yeah, just last week.
Like to sit down?
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, about a week ago. And so what's the rule then? Like you got to sit apart by 6 feet?
No, they skipped every other table. Like the restaurants were doing that. They were just so every other they would have what they would try to do is have one or two tables between a full table, a party. Which is stupid. So, like, for instance, you came in with your family, you're a party of 3 or 4. I come in with my family, a party of 2. Another dude wants a table, he comes in by himself, eats alone. I mean, that's not helping with the sales at the restaurant and helping with tips with each waiter and server. It's kind of ridiculous. You might as well do carry out at that point. You're not.
Yeah, you might as well.
And then you got the social distancing practices in the bars in the restaurant. Now you're going to skip every booth in there at the bar. You know, bars are tiny.
Yeah, I mean, how do you feel about the whole thing? Do you think, do you think it's a serious threat? Like, are you worried about? Do you know anybody's getting sick or?
Well, you know, it's just like for me, it's like if everybody's really that scared of it, act like it. Nobody's really proven to act like it to me. You know, you could pose by buying a bunch of covering your face, buying all this lotion, but really, don't go outside. Cover your body up. Practice more procedures. Prepare your meals. You know.
Yeah. Well, how about just quarantining the sick, you know, and not having everybody that's healthy act like, you know, they're all infected by some invisible bug, you know? Have testing that's efficient, and kick out everybody that's got a financial incentive, you know, like fucking Mr. Gates.
Yeah.
He's a creepy fuck, you know, and yeah, just do it. We've never dealt with this before. It's like we took on the British, we took on the Nazis, and Japan and Italy, and you know, and the USSR, and we're all fucking cowering now because of a flu that kills 100,000 people. You know how many people are gonna die of fucking like heart attacks and lung cancer this year alone? You know, 100,000 people dead is horrible, as everybody said. It's a tragedy. It's God, I don't want anybody to die, of course, and it's not. It's still. I'm not saying it. You know, it's not a bad thing, but in a country of this population of you know 100, you know, sorry, you know, was it 150 million people?
In the United States, I think.
Yeah.
Do correct me. He said there was 34 million in the United States.
34 million?
That's roughly.
134?
That's roughly. There's a dot.
134 million. Yeah. So 100,000 people out of 134 million. It's, you know, it's not, it doesn't warrant this type of reaction. Now, I understand, like, okay, they thought it was going to be way worse, so they went to the extreme. But it's pretty obvious now that their worst fears didn't come true. So they can't just say, you know, hey, our worst fears didn't come true. Thank God. Let's celebrate. And you know, let's just get back to normal. We're going to, you know, quarantine the people who are sick, and we're going to take care of them, you know, and make sure they have the best care possible, like we should. And then, you know, that's it, man. But that's all these blue cities, these blue areas, you know, they use it as a power grab thing, and they don't want it to go away. And obviously the big corporations that are, you know, Amazon and Walmart, their fucking profits have tripled, man. I wish I had money to buy some stock in Walmart or Amazon right now. They made a killing during all this, so they don't want it to end either. So you have now all these huge corporations. They're going to lobby these fucking people in Congress to, you know, keep it going, keep this thing going, so that they don't have any competition from, you know, your mom and pop shops and stuff like that. It's just, you know, I don't know, man. It's just, I don't know. It's like I woke up in some fucking other world like everybody else. Like, I was walking the trail yesterday, and nobody was wearing a mask. You know, it was a beautiful day. I was getting a nice workout. I had the earbuds in. I was taking a walk, jamming. And I get off the trail, and, you know, and then I start seeing, you know, how, like, deserted everything is. And, you know, you'll see a couple older people with masks, and they look really scared. And I'm just like, you know, nothing's happened to warrant this. You know, there's not, like, been people dropping like flies, you know. Like, you know, believe me, if it was like the medieval times and it was the bubonic plague, yeah, I'd be fucking freaked out, man. You know, I'd be shitting my pants like everybody else. You know, you had like buboils and all that stuff and all that nasty shit, and everybody was getting and everybody was dying from it. But since that ain't the case, I just don't understand it. You know, and you know, I don't have a lot of trust for the institutions that exist today. As you know, they're man-made institutions and they're fallible. You know, and there's money involved.
Well, as long as the ink spot is still alive, I'm not worried about Corona. He's a plumber.
Yeah, right there you go, brother. Yeah, there you go, man. So, at any rate, well, so yeah, back to Templar here, man. So, what's the sketch you got here right now? I'm trying. I'm on my phone. You have to excuse me, so I can't see it as quick.
Oh, you want me to go back or go forward a little bit?
I'm looking at the image on the right here. I'm just trying to get a better. I'm blowing up my phone. Let me see. That's cool. You see, so they're holding the gun on the left. You got like his head down there with the cross on his head.
Yeah.
Okay, and then to the right, is that just the victim's face, or is that what is that?
That's the revolver pointing at his head and the hammer going back. And then, the far right, yeah, that's the two scumbags being intimate. That's the one guy being freaked out that he's literally fucking a guy to death. And then the other guy's life going out because the other guy's ejaculating all over his heart.
Yeah. Funny.
That's a way to die. That's a way for a child molester to kill another child killer, right?
Absolutely, man. You know, maybe you can throw in one of mine. You know, I always thought the perfect way for those guys is to feed them to wild wolves. You know, you just have a bunch of wild, hungry wolves, and you know, that way the wolves, they don't fucking care. It's just food to them, and then it's a very nice fitting punishment for that guy. And then basically, the cops would just see it as a wolf attack. You know, they wouldn't know that it was put there by the Templar, right?
I had a character that was kind of like that. He was kind of like the Crow, but with a pack of wolves, kind of like Mowgli. Maybe I should redo him. There's actually a character I made like that.
Obviously.
Wasn't the Templar.
Well, I like the concept. See, I always like to think of like nature devouring the filth of human nature, like, you know, like aberrations of humans, like, you know, like fucking pedophiles and child molesters and shit like that, and rapists, you know. Just feed them to the wolves, you know. Nature's like cleanser, and wolves don't, you know, like I said, like some people, you know, you think about like prison guards, you know, that have to, or executioners that have to throw a switch and they feel guilty about it, so they have all these shenanigans where they don't know who actually pushed the button, or, you know, remember when the firing squads, they put blanks in all of them but one gun so that nobody would know who really had the kill shot. And with the wolves, you know, the wolves just go to work and eat their food, and they don't give a shit. Crap out crap. So I just thought it was amusing, you know, like it's kind of just seems like you know, natural justice.
Yeah.
There's a really funny Onion article. It's on the Onion channel on YouTube. I don't know if you ever go to the Onion channel on YouTube. It's got all kind of funny shit on there. They do these, you know, these purposely like comedy, like fake news stories. And they did like a whole video graphic where they said like some state they're like, oh, they invented a new machine where it basically the convict, the murderer or whatever, just sits in the chair and it's a head ripping machine. It just rips the head right off painlessly. And they show like a fucking animated skit, like a CGI skit of a, you know, fucking prisoner in the fucking chair, and this fucking big claw comes down like from a claw machine in an arcade, just twists their head off, pulls it right off, hammering the head. It's twisted, man, but it was funny. I don't, obviously people are into it. That's probably wouldn't like it, but I thought it was fucking weird.
I thought the Onion Noon became CNN.
Nah, I'm from Chicago, I think. I mean, I know they're I know they're based out of Chicago.
I love their. But they had that movie they made a long time ago. That was a fucking cool movie.
Is that the alien one with the warrior guy that got adopted when he was a kid and they made him like a warrior? That was fucking great. Is that the one you're talking about?
Yeah, with Steven Seagal. They were like the fake Steven Seagal movie that everybody loved.
Yes, man, it was fucking great, dude. I forgot about that one. Obviously you just brought it up, but it came back to me. But that was really good, man. Yeah, it was like basically he got abducted as a kid, and the aliens just used him like as a sport, like a gladiator. Basically, yeah, they used him as a gladiator, and then for whatever reason, they liked him because he was such a badass, and then they allowed him to return home, and then he was like working in a grocery store, just fucking up mob guys. It was great. The name escapes me, but it was a great movie. I don't know why they didn't make more Onion movies, but I was surprised to see that movie. I mean, Onion was just like a comedy newspaper, as far as I knew. I'm pretty sure that's how it started. And they had that movie, which was, like a cult hit, so I must have sold some copies. And then now that, I hadn't heard about them until I saw the YouTube channel that they had, where they got all kinds of, videos they made for YouTube that are probably the last like good comedy, like you'll see from like mainstream YouTube, where like they're not politically correct. They can joke about pretty much anything, and they seem to get away with it without being hassled. So, like how Saturday Night Live used to be a long time ago.
Yeah, when Saturday Night Live used to have balls.
Right. Yeah, absolutely. Before they started catering to the insane. Absolutely. I don't even, it's not even, like, they don't even have talented people on there anymore very much. Like, the people they hire now, the new cast, I mean, are you kidding me, man? Like, take Bill Murray or Chris Farley or John Belushi or Will Ferrell or Phil Hartman, any of those guys, and stack them up to, Pete Davidson,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, yeah, the new they have on there, like, I only know Pete Davidson's name because he's in the press so much for all the hot chicks he bangs. Good for him, by the way. But
well, it's
yeah,
because Ariana Grande couldn't stop talking about his cock. That's why he's getting all the girls.
Apparently he's hungry for
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Kate Beckinsale, I was very jealous. He got Kate Beckinsale in the sack for a little while there, and she's a fucking milf. She's like our age. She's at my age probably, or she's older than me probably a couple years, But I'm EBS's age, probably close to. I don't know. I'm 40. I'm 46, but I look like I'm 18, so I don't really go think about telling people my age. Most people think I'm like 20 something.
That's good.
But yeah, well, I used to party. I think partying either like makes you age or preserves you. I think I don't know. It preserved me. Plus, I always had a baby face, but and I still got my hair, But yeah. Anyways, Kate Beckinsale. I just remember I knew about Ariana Grande and whatever. That didn't surprise me. I could see her being Pete Davidson, but I'm like, fuck, really, Kate Beckinsale? Like, shit, man. Like, everybody's been watching her in those Underworld movies, looking sexy as all fuck forever. She gets hotter and hotter with like Kate Beckinsale, man. Like, man, talk about a woman who has aged nicely. Like, whew, boy, hot.
Sorry, taking a dab.
No, that's all right. And the other, there's a show called Revenge of the Sith. I just started watching, and that one I like.
You roboted that last sentence. You roboted that last sentence.
Roboted the last sentence?
Yeah. I didn't understand what you said.
Oh, I was just saying there's a show on YouTube called Revenge of the Sith. I don't know if you ever heard of it.
Yeah.
And they were covering the whole. Yeah, they covered Pete Davidson quite a bit to make fun of him. So that's why I know about all this shit. Because I certainly don't watch SNL. But they were talking about all the hot women he's had, and yeah, about him, being hung like a snuffleupagus, whatever, all that shit. And also, he does comedy shows, and he was trying to tell everybody that they couldn't take photos or they couldn't record, whatever. He was like trying to take everybody's cell phone away. Yeah. And then he has a new movie coming out. Yeah. He's got a new movie coming out, and so they're playing the trailer of his new movie.
Yeah, he's supposed to be in the new Suicide Squad movie.
Really? I didn't fucking know that. Are you kidding me? Yeah.
Yeah, he was in the pictures. It's like, so what? The prequel movie directed by James Gunn.
Yeah, I got a bad taste. James Gunn, man. After this, the guy wasn't, accused by anybody, so that means something to me. But yeah, man, those tweets are fucking gross. Give me a break.
And the pictures of that pedophile party was creepy too. There's just too much.
Right? Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. That's just, listen, man. I actually, don't do it very often. Once in a great blue moon, I'll do a very blue joke or something. But I've never made jokes about fucking kids being fucking raped ever. And if I did it like all the time, thousands of tweets, or hundreds of tweets, like I wouldn't fucking be freaked. I would understand why people be suspecting me. I love Guardians of the Galaxy. There's no doubt that Gunn is a talented director, and writer. And like I said, man, I believe innocent until proven guilty as far as like that goes, because even with those disgusting the party he went to with those pictures, it's gross. He's a douchebag, but nobody's come forward saying he abused me. But
no,
I don't have a desire to watch the movie.
But then again,
I didn't watch Breaking.
Yeah. Then again, there's a contradiction. There's underground accusations against Ron Jeremy again, which
I heard a little bit about it. I didn't. Sorry, go ahead.
Well, I personally just have mixed feelings about, because I've actually lived with Ron Jeremy before in my life, and
really?
Yeah, my brother's friends with him, and my brother ran strip clubs, and for a while he was doing a comedy act at strip clubs. He actually broke into my bedroom when I was fucking my girlfriend once, filming me fucking my girlfriend at the time. So, anyway, long story short, women would come up to him and demand to see his dick right there out in the open. And he was always like, no, I'm not going to show you my dick. Be all kinds of women too, young and pretty, old, middle-aged, cougars, all kinds of women would come up to him and demand to see his dick. And there was another time there was a private party, and, this young goth girl, right, who just performed this, I'm being really raunchy. She did an anal ring toss, right, at this party.
Yeah, okay.
And she goes in the bathroom with Ron Jeremy and starts sucking his dick because he's fucking Ron Jeremy.
Oh, of course. Yeah, right.
So, women accusing him of sexual assault, I have a hard time believing it the way how women behave around him.
Right. Yeah. He's been he's good friends with Mancow Muller. Mancow, the Chicago. I don't know if you heard of Mancow. He's a Chicago radio DJ. He's huge here. He actually beat Stern in the ratings here.
I'm familiar with Mancow. He actually did a lot of Hustler articles.
Yes. There you go. Yeah, Mancow. Yeah, he's friends with Ron Jeremy. He's had him on the show a bunch of times, and Mancow's a good Christian guy, and he wouldn't be hanging out with him if he was that kind of a guy. So yeah, as far as Ron Jeremy goes, yeah, and it's still proven guilty, man. If they want to take him to court, if fucking come forward with some kind of real evidence, then they obviously should do that. They have the right to. But if they don't have real evidence, if it's just hearsay, I don't fucking want to hear it. It's like, you should go to the police if something really happens. Obviously, and if somebody does do something, don't get me wrong, that's one thing, but it's like anybody can accuse anybody. That's why we have due process, and that's an important thing. Now, if you did do it and you're convicted,
your own porno.
So you live with him, huh? He's a pretty cool guy to you.
He's
Like,
a decent, yeah, he's a
um,
good guy. Most of the time we talked about his mainstream movies like Boondock Saints during the time. One of my favorite movies, Andre the Butcher. You know, I was more into the independent scene and trying to get in there. So I was trying to figure out information about what I needed to do in the screenwriting stuff. And he was we were talking about Troy Duffy and Norman Reedus and shit like that before The Walking Dead. So
right.
we were talking. Well, he was in Flash and Andre the Butcher. We were talking about his stunt where he blew himself up in the car. Yeah.
Yeah. He was in Detroit Rock City too, wasn't he, Ron Jeremy? He had a part in a little tiny part.
Yeah. I think so. I don't remember.
Yeah. My old buddy Mike LaRoche, God rest his soul, he's passed away. Love you, Mikey. He used to crack me up. He talked about Ron Jeremy, he'd be like, yeah, I like watching Ron Jeremy. He cracks me up. And I'm like, okay, well, okay, why not? He's like, I just like his acting. I was like, what? He's like, oh yeah, baby, that's good. Just do it like that. Which is so true, man. Like, there's no passion. With Ron Jeremy, when he's in those videos, he's in those pornos, he's just like, yeah, that's good. Yeah, oh, there you go. I just like, man, not quite my reaction when I'm with a hot woman. But yeah, and then he used to work like with handicapped kids and stuff too, didn't he? He was like a special ed teacher. So yeah, man, I don't see him as being, I don't see him as being somebody like somebody who started off as being a special ed teacher, and yeah, from the other stuff I've seen him in interviews and stuff, he seems like a pretty down to earth guy. He's just in a crazy business,
Yeah, don't get it twisted. He's a filthy homeless guy, so he doesn't have everything straight. I'm just
yeah,
saying.
I didn't say he wasn't filthy.
I'm just saying I've seen the situations where he's in where it's kind of hard when like for instance, the girl who is in the big whole Trump scandal, Stormy Daniels. When you get a picture of her going up to Ron Jeremy and grabbing his fucking cock and kissing him on the cheek for photo ops, and yet you're saying the same man sexually assaulted you, and you're tired, you're crying in tears. You got to pick one.
Yeah. Yeah. No, unless I see proof, man. Unless I see evidence, whatever. Judged by a court of law. That's that I should say this. Like, there's an exception to that. Okay, like somebody like this accuser of Biden, she did go. She did try and go. When it happened, she tried to document. She documented it. She tried to get help, and because it was a politician with a lot of power, she was, shut down. And those women, I really feel bad for, because when it comes to somebody like that, you can't go to the cops, because they're gonna. What are you gonna do? What is some cop gonna do? Go bust in the governor's mansion? Go bust in the White House? No, of course not. So, I mean, except when it comes to like somebody like a very powerful politician. But if it's just an average Joe like Ron Jeremy being accused, unless there's evidence, that's hearsay. And yeah, I'm sure he's not a saint, of course. He does some filthy stuff, but right. If it's just, I said it, so he did it. No, that don't fly with me. You could say the same shit about anybody. You could say that about my best friend. You could say that about me. I don't put myself in those situations, but I'm saying, yeah, that's what they used to do during like the Salem witch trials. That's. We don't want to revert back to burning people at the stake. That's why we have due process. I don't know if this all used to be common sense, but I guess today's fucking upside down clown world, we have to talk about like it's something.
It's everybody wants to scam somebody and try their best to scam it. I think that's what it is, and they think Ron Jeremy has money.
Yeah, I don't think he doesn't seem like he's got mansions. I mean, shit. You live with him, right? Like,
He
if
he
he
has
was
the
living with you,
same red Geo car. That's just a fucking hoarding mess. He just looks like a homeless guy driving in a hoarding mess. So every time I see these girls that do these scenes with them, it's just like, wow, you are shallow as fuck. You want to fucking talk about how deep you are, but you're gonna fuck him for
right?
money? Fuck.
Yeah. Plus, women in pornos, they make way more than the guys, right? They make like fucking 10 times the
Yeah.
amount, don't they? From what
Yep.
I've heard, like the guy makes a couple $100. And
Just for a
yeah, like he
regular
doesn't got
sin
Jenna
is a
Jameson.
week worth of work. A week's worth of work.
Yeah. Yeah, man. It's you don't see people in the industry usually walking off in the sunset very, very well off financially, that's for sure. You know, you got like your mega superstars like Jenna Jameson and people like that, Joe Kelly. But I love Joe Kelly. I always liked her better than Jenna Jameson. Although, I've appreciated them both.
And Jill Kelly made herself
But
bankrupt. And Jenna
yeah,
Jameson.
I mean, yeah.
You heard what? Well, she kind of fell off when.
Well, I heard about the thing with Tito. Yeah, I just remember like Tito Ortiz. They got divorced. He said she was burning through their money like fucking hotcakes. And
oh, she had a
I
serious
that's the
drug
last time I heard
problem.
of her.
She
Right?
fucking
Yeah,
beat
of
the
course.
shit out of her. She fucking beat the shit out of herself when she was fucking high on drugs and fucking falsely accused Tito fucking beating the shit out of her. Fucking bruised the fuck out of herself and beat the shit out of herself and claimed false domestic abuse against him.
Like Amber Rose is doing to Johnny Depp.
Yep.
Or Amber Heard, sorry.
Amber Heard. Yeah.
Yeah, they think it's of course, because they just know that the press is going to go with them. That the guys don't want to sell out of court because they don't want to go through the fucking bullshit. That's what they plan on. And yeah, man, that's perjury. If you falsely accuse, if you're proven to be falsely accusing people, you should go to jail, man. You're trying to fucking destroy somebody's. You are destroying somebody's life just by the accusation. Not to mention getting them locked up. It's fucking twisted, man. I don't know. What the deal is these days.
Huh?
I couldn't do it. Just saying, like I just can't, it's just not the way I think. I just can't conceive of, some girl that I used to date. Girls I've dated, man, shit didn't always go good. Obviously, it's like I'm single now. The girls I've dated, no matter how bad their breakup, the last thing I ever wanted to do would be to frame them, have them go to jail just to get back at them. That's just like, what the fuck, man? Yeah,
Yeah.
Destroy their reputation for the rest of their life because our fling didn't fucking work out. I mean, what the fuck? And yeah, I don't know. I guess that's what happens, though. It's like you can kind of tell you did a woman, maybe not on the first day, but doesn't usually take too long to figure out what you're dealing with mentally, and just if you're gonna do that white knight stuff with the woman who's crazy and vindictive, then I guess you shouldn't be too surprised. It still isn't right. But when I see crazy, man, any girls I've dated, man, when I see the crazy come out, I'm out of there pretty quick. I was really good at that. I had a good skill for that. I would have my fun. I'd hook up with some girls at a party, sometimes just make out with them, but just they'd be like, yeah, you're mine now. You'd be very possessive, and we're not even officially dating. I'd be like, I gotta go, sweetie. It's been fun. I had a couple of friends weren't so lucky. All us guys know that story. So, hey, so you get shut down on YouTube the other day. I saw you posted that photo. Now, what was that, man? I saw on Twitter you posted that pic, and you said like YouTube fucking gave you some kind of a strike. Is that like
Yeah, I was doing a draw stream the other day, and I was just going on a talk and a tangent. I wasn't really talking about anything. I was just talking about the day, and
right.
took me down and said they don't know exactly why they took me down, but they're sure it's something.
Right.
And I'm like, what? All I'm drawing is a big titty woman in a micro bikini. The fuck?
Right. Yeah, I saw that, man. I remember, like, you know, I remember, like, last time we were streaming together, you showed me, like, that drawing of you, like your wife you did, and the drawing that you did there, looked like it was inspired by it a little bit or something. Was that the case?
Oh no, I was trying to. I'm drawing Mia, but I'm trying to do a certain body study because with comic book bodies especially women and full figure, there's a certain way they kind of look in comic books than they look trying to make them look realistically. So I was trying to do kind of conveyor belt style, kind of do an appealing style. So I was kind of
Right.
going off kind of the lifestyle being long bodies, long figures.
Yeah. Right. Yeah, from the picture that I saw that you posted there, man, it didn't look like anything that was, there was no reason for them to fuck with you on that.
Yeah.
They've been going crazy with the censorship. That's what it is. I just think that they got some kind of bot just censoring everything randomly at this point. They're taking out videos. Anybody that, any channel with any good amount of subscribers, man, is getting flanked for anything anti-COVID, anything they don't want right now. They're taking advantage of the whole lockdown situation. So, yeah, I mean, I don't know what it was, but it was bullshit, and it was just a fluke.
Yeah, it is what it is. There's nothing I can do about it but just be like, nope, fuck you guys.
Yeah, fuck them, absolutely. I mean, that's probably that's the only strike you've ever had, right?
Yep. Besides the music stuff, but I'm not too worried about the music stuff. Give a fuck.
Yeah, that's not even YouTube.
Huh?
Yeah, that's not even YouTube, really, man. With the copyright stuff, that's what I heard, man. Is that the corporate, the people own the copyrights. They pay people to just search, for anything using that, and then what they do is obviously they just do a copyright strike, even though it's fair use, because unless you're just playing it, blatantly, like showing it to people, posing as yours, it's fair use. If you're doing any kind of commentary or you change anything, it's fair use, So what they do is they target people who are small channels because they figure you don't have money to lawyer up and sue their ass for wrongful harassment or whatever. That's why big channels can play clips, like Steven Crowder. He doesn't. He gets strike. If he gets a copyright strike, it's because of his politics, but it's not because of his fair use stuff. Usually,
Mm-hmm.
And every time he does, he's got that lawyer that just shuts him down, and he gets fucking lifted and reinstated.
Yeah, I remember when Caesar was taken down for just Cecil in the background throwing up. They said it was showing throwing up, and it's like it was just the audio. There's other videos of people throwing up. It's bullshit. Right.
I didn't even know that the EBS got a strike, man.
Yeah. There's a guy named LA Beast on YouTube, if you ever heard of him. Big guy, right? One of the most horrible videos I've seen him do was...
I think so. Your audio's fading out a bit.
Oh, sorry. Check. 1, 2. How am I doing? How am I sounding?
So it's still the same. It might be my phone.
No. I don't know. Check. I mean, anyways, he has a video. Most horrible thing I've seen him do was eat 3 cactuses with those fucking, with the actual fucking pointy ends, so full of them. One of them was a furry one. And the whole video, you hear him crying and stuff like that. And it's like, God, just please stop.
Right. Yeah, no, I didn't see that one. I didn't know EBS ever got one copyright strike either. I didn't know that.
It wasn't a copyright strike. It was a YouTube violation for Cecil throwing
Oh, well,
up in the
whatever. You know,
background.
I can take the strike now. Yeah,
It was
copyright
something.
violation. Well, fuck that.
It was it was ridiculous. You just heard Cecil throwing up in the background. You didn't see it.
Right?
If he was really throwing up, you know, he could have just been acting it.
Yeah, well, I'm pretty sure I've seen people throwing up on regular YouTube promoted channels, you know, pretty often actually. They just pick and choose, man. That's all they do. They pick and choose.
Yep. Oh, I remember when Ink
For the
Spots
most
got
part,
in trouble.
EBS, you know,
Oh,
he brings them a lot of whatever, you know, ad revenue, whatever, you know, like he's got a lot of subs. You would think they would leave him alone. He's a big enough channel. You would think they wouldn't fuck with him. It's not a political news channel.
well, unfortunately, if you Wikipedia him, and I did this. Where is it? I can't type.
Hey, can you hear me okay, dude?
I hear you perfectly. You sound like you're sitting right next to me.
Yeah, I don't know why, man, but like, I got my phone, my thing at full volume here. I didn't touch anything, and yet I gotta put like the phone to my ear to hear you.
That is so fucking weird. Let me double check my settings.
Yeah, I don't know if it's like just me or it's.
Let me double check my settings, but maybe it's my settings. All right, let's try this. How do I sound now? No, that's speaker, motherfucker.
Same. All right. Sorry, I just get my phone up.
How am I sounding now?
I took. Same. You know, it's probably my phone, man. Don't worry about it. I can hear you. I just gotta keep the phone to my ear, which I'm like doing.
All right. You still there? Hello?
Yeah, I'm still there.
All right. Did I lose you?
Yeah. No, you know, dude, it's probably my phone, brother.
I got you.
It's gotta be my phone. I don't know. Maybe I got that call when I was talking to you. Maybe I fucked up my audio. I don't know. I didn't hit anything. I got my volume on high. Let me check.
That's so strange. Yeah, I get complaints sometimes about this headset too, but it's weird. It's a Beats headset, so I wouldn't think there would be any problems with it.
Like, yeah.
Oh, they changed it. Finally. They used to call him a right-wing person, YouTube personality.
Yeah, shit. He was born the same year as me, dude. I'm March in September. 1974. Fuck, I didn't know he was born the exact same year as me. I knew he was close.
Me and him have the same birthday.
It's funny because he's into the oldies, you know.
He is not
he's into
a
the
Mormon.
oldies so much.
He is not a Mormon.
Yeah, he was like he was raised Mormon. Yeah.
He was raised Mormon, but he's not a Mormon.
Right. Yeah, he's just what I mean, not that I care. Just, he identifies as Christian, right? Just you know, just doing it doesn't really matter, but you know, Mormons obviously, you know, they're not understood by a lot of people. My sister, she lived in Salt Lake City, Utah for a little bit. She actually was a Mormon for a short time, and then she left. we were always Catholic. She wasn't gonna, I knew when she went out there, she wasn't gonna be around for long. But I had a cousin also lived in Colorado. She had some friends that were more. Yeah. Yeah, the fact that EVS just because from New Jersey is, people I think just thought it was, like, wow, you're a Mormon, you're from New Jersey. Because if they're like, well, I'm raised in Salt Lake City, Utah, my whole life, then they wouldn't have gotten so much fucking talk. I don't know why people, but yeah, I just think because he's from New Jersey, right? He was born in New Jersey or something, was he?
Mm-hmm. Well, that's good news.
Yeah, you still. Yeah, you.
No,
sorry, I'm having trouble hearing, but I can hear you now.
Wikipedia changed the labels. They put on fucking Noah's profile and fucking Van Sciver's profile that he was a right-wing internet personality on YouTube. See?
Of course they did.
Yeah.
Everybody that's not SJW now is right wing. It's ridiculous, man. It's like I'm an independent libertarian, but I guarantee you they would fucking probably call me a Republican if they just heard this talk we had right now. Shit, just because we're not talking about intellectual or cultural appropriation and all the other fun, ridiculous talking points. You're right wing.
But of course, Wikipedia has to put this. He's a Republican and a Mormon.
Right. Yeah. Well, I'll tell you what, man.
And they got this wrong too. He does not live in Orlando, Florida, unless that's a setup. Unless Wikipedia is doxing him.
Nah, he's in Jersey. He's outside that new house he got on his own show. He just moved out to the suburbs. I think moved out to the boondocks out in the suburbs there, but I don't think he's in Florida.
Yeah, his P.O. box is in Marlton. Marlton. If you want to send him something.
His P.O. box was in New Jersey, wasn't it?
It is in show. It is in Jersey. Marlton. Marlton.
Right.
I can't say it.
Yeah.
Marlton.
Marlton, New Jersey. Right. Okay, that's right. Yeah. I think you said Arlington, and I was going to say because there's an Arlington, Florida. Pretty sure.
There probably is.
But yeah, he said he marked in Florida. Well, Wikipedia, they get their facts wrong all the fucking time, man. I mean, they got a lot of cool stuff on Wikipedia. Obviously, it's the thing people use. I've used it. I still do it once in a while, but Snow gets shit wrong all the time. Wikipedia gets shit wrong all the time. It's because they're run by Google, a bunch of fucking asshats. I don't know Wikipedia, obviously. I don't know who owns Wikipedia, but anything owned by Google, man, it's usually a crap fest. They put a lot of bullshit in there, unless it's somebody they like, and then they add a bunch of bullshit that make them seem better than they are. You probably see. I imagine if you go on Wikipedia, they'll probably tell you Kathleen Kennedy gave George Lucas and Steven Spielberg all their best ideas.
Well, she probably takes credit for that scene in Rogue One where Darth Vader fucks everybody up and it ruins canon for everything.
Yeah, right. Because she let the guy, but she'll take credit for it. Yeah, because the guy did convince her, so she'll be like, "Well, yeah." God, I can't believe they haven't gotten rid of her yet, man. I understand why, because I just know how they are. They don't want the bad press of firing some, such a high-profile female CEO. But hey, how about this? Fire her ass and then hire another CEO that's just as good. Maybe you don't have to worry about the bad press.
They used to probably
everybody hates her. The people that defend her are in the minority.
Yeah. Well, it's funny that the one that replaced her is used to be Weinstein's personal assistant. How many
funny, isn't it?
Bodies did she bury for him?
Yeah, it's obvious he's got something on somebody. I don't know. Also, with all the progressive bullshit that they they promote at Disney, it would look just really bad for them to fire her because she would say, "Oh, they fired me because I'm a woman. They're afraid of my, my ideas. They're threatened by a woman," and then they don't want that press. So, obviously they're not keeping her on because she's such a great success. She's she's gonna go down in history as the worst CEO ever. Period. I mean, who the fuck loses money on Star Wars? Shit, I guarantee you, man. Those Ewok specials that George Lucas made, TV, made money. Star Wars Holiday Christmas Special made money. Everybody watched the fucking thing. I think I did when I was a kid.
Yeah.
Still trying to get over the trauma. But, yeah, I mean, she's been a complete failure, Solo lost money, and even the ones that made profit with the sequel movies, they didn't make the profit they were supposed to, at least not the last two.
Well, they didn't make profit off the merchandise. That's where
they get killed on the
needed to profit. That's where they needed to profit off of merchandise, and they thought making Star Wars into Brat styles would make the sales, but problem is, once again, they tested this, and Ethan Van Sciver says this all the time, is that Legos did this test already. Boys play different than girls. Girls don't imagine themselves becoming characters, so they can't see themselves becoming Rey. They don't want to.
Even right, they don't want to be dudes. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I got
a sister that's.
Huh?
I got a sister that's pretty close to my age. She was like the second youngest. I'm the youngest of 7, 6. My dad had. I have a sister too. My dad's second marriage, but my before that, my youngest sister, Katie, she, when we were little kids, she would play with her dolls. I had all my action figures. I had my He-Man. I had my Star Wars. She didn't play with my shit. I didn't play with hers. See how kids are, man. I go to my buddy's house. I'd pull my G.I. Joes. He'd pull his. We'd pick. Okay, I get one of yours. You get one of mine. We up for grabs. Those kind of games. We just sit there and have our adventures and shit. And with the girls, the only kind of games we play with them when we were little kids would be like tag, or it, those kind of games that anybody could play. But yeah, man, like, of course they don't want to play with fucking action figures. That's like what boys do, Now, I'm not saying all of them, but like, yeah, usually girls like to play with different types. Like they like dolls, not action figures. Yeah, I would see a girl liking a Barbie a lot more than a little girl, and they want to change that. They're like, well, this is because it's foisted upon them. But like you said, Ethan can say, Ethan and everybody else can quote these studies where they clearly show there's a difference. And I'm glad that those fucking toys didn't sell because they didn't deserve to. She doesn't deserve success. She doesn't love Star Wars. She just wants to use it for a fucking activist platform. And she's an enemy to creative people everywhere. Needs to be defeated. She's an awful person. She doesn't want women's equality. She wants to shit on men. You know what I mean? Most guys, it's like, yeah, they don't have a problem with equality, but it doesn't mean that, there's not any differences between the two. And, that everything should be made where the only way you can build up a female character is to make the guys look like idiots and, underlings. Like, that's just dumb shit. Whatever, I'm ranting. But, I'm sure you feel the same way. I would assume. You know what it's like.
Well, it's like even watching the Witcher TV show. I played the video game, and the video game's about Geralt's reactions with monsters, and most of the time, Geralt the character is avoiding to kill all these other monsters because he feels like one of them. So most of the time you're dealing with conversations and having dialogue and trying to figure out what happened and figure out if this monster really deserves to die, because obviously the monster is pretty coherent because there's different levels of intelligence, and they took it all out and they added race and people, and it was all overrun with actors and actresses. Yennefer, they casted pretty well, but Triss Triss was a very attractive woman in the video game and the TV show, and they just make her they just pick the most mediocre woman possible to play as her. Terribly casted. And it's like, oh, that's
yeah. You can't have her be objectified, right?
And then one of the other weirdest.
Did you finish? Have you?
Huh?
I was gonna ask, did you finish watching the whole season, or are you still going through it?
Yeah, I finished watching the whole season of Witcher.
I watched like the first half hour of the first episode, and I haven't seen anything else.
I'll put it this way. It's what you say, it's TV show more dealing with representation and less of the monsters. And it's like, where's the fucking monsters? I want to see fucking monsters.
Yeah, the monsters look cool, from what I saw in the previews,
Yeah,
like
exactly.
It looks like it's got good special effects. Yeah. So
maybe I'll do a live stream.
Would you recommend it? Yeah, see, I mean, so like I didn't read the books, I didn't play the game. Would you recommend I finish watching the season, or did I skip it?
If you're because to be honest, the show got me more into the books because I was like, man, I want to see more of the book. I appreciated some of the show because it had a lot of familiarities because I'm familiar with The Witcher from the video game, The Witcher 3. So I understood when his eyes turned black that he was really drunk from a bunch of potions he drank. So I was like, oh, that's cool. I know what that is. I know what's going on with him about that.
Give me 1 second.
Mm-hmm.
Hey man, sorry I'm back. I take a call. You there?
Yeah, I'm here. You gotta go?
Sorry. Yeah, I gotta go a couple minutes, but I was just saying, man, I can hear him pretty fine on my phone volume, man. So I don't know on the stream. It doesn't matter, man. I mean, shit, it's been cool. It's been a blast, but like when you watch, if you play this on the stream, man, like the sound might not be good because I thought it was just my phone, but when I took his call on his phone, when he cut in, man, the volume popped right back out. So yeah, there might just be something glitchy with YouTube. I don't fucking know. I'm just letting you know.
When you get
I get the phone right up to my ears so I can hear you.
Huh.
Yeah, like we were talking, like I had you on my holder, and I was talking on like I would talk to you on speakerphone how we're doing it, and then I got the first call from my buddy, and I just hit decline, and then that's when I noticed like I couldn't hear you as good, so I just kept the phone up to me. And I was fucking with the volume controls, making sure it was my phone. Everything looks okay with my settings. But then when he called, man, bam, like the fucking volume came out really loud. So yeah, I'm just letting you know. It might be a problem with YouTube or something. I don't know, or maybe just some kind of glitch.
We're on StreamYards. Could be just a StreamYards glitch because when I connect to my Bluetooth and I get phone calls from my phone because I'm going through my computer right now with StreamYards.
Right. Well, yeah, I mean, like I'm saying, it don't bother me. To me, it's like it's cool. I was just talking to a brother on the phone, but anybody, somebody watches this, they might not be able to hear it.
I forgot what I was even talking about. Oh, The Witcher.
We just talking about The Witcher, yeah.
It's definitely worth the watch through. It's good enough. It's not it doesn't accommodate all the monsters. I would like to see more monsters.
Yeah, well, that's usually how it is at Netflix, man. Netflix usually leaves me kind of like, it's okay. They have a couple of really good original things once in a while, but for the most part, they put out a lot of shit. A lot of fucking shit, man. And I don't even watch most of their TV shows. I watch Stranger Things. I watched the Dark Crystal. That was cool. I started watching The Witcher, but I got preoccupied. But other than that, I go to Netflix for movies. And that's what I watch. One and done.
Well,
That's why I like movies.
if you have a subscription to it, and it was surprisingly good because it turned out to be a murder mystery, was that Upload, which
For what? For Netflix?
Amazon Prime.
Oh, I got Amazon Prime. I have like the basic. Yeah, I got a sub to that.
Yeah, they got an
I've
original
watched.
show on there.
I watched
Huh?
The Boys, and I like The Boys a lot, man. They said the second season that was going to suck. It's going full SJW.
Probably because Seth Rogen is a pussy, and he pussified
Yeah,
Preacher at the end.
yeah. Seth Rogen is, Pineapple Express was a funny movie, but don't get me wrong too. It's like I loved that movie. This Is the End. I thought it was funny as all. I thought that was a fucking funny movie, man. It was a funny comedy, but without you know, the usual cast. If it's just Seth Rogen himself in the movie, I could leave it. That's just me. He don't
Well,
give a
Rogan
fuck.
turned into a bitch, to be
Yeah,
honest. He's a
that's
bitch.
yeah. He sold out. That's what he did. That's what they do. Just like Amy Schumer. When I saw him and Amy Schumer do that Budweiser commercial together for the Super Bowl, I'm like, these two are perfect together because they both sold out. They both started out with raunchy and raw, and then they got the big movie deals, and then they fucking had to go PC and social justice warrior and just suck. So
I
it's kind of
got
what I expected.
I got a Seth Rogen story because I was working this show for a friend of mine. If you ever heard of CinemaCon, it's a big movie theater convention. So we
I
were
have heard
doing
of
press
that.
things
Excuse me.
where press people are asking dumb questions, and Seth Rogen, he just has a cue where he's character. He just walks in with a stick up his ass, just doing that fake. He seriously walks in doing that fake copyrighted laugh. Like nobody has to ask him. He just comes in
Uh,
like, ooh, and then I forgot what question. Oh, my friend Frankie. My friend asked him because apparently he bought a big marijuana fucking place in Canada, right? And he got
yeah,
mad and offended about him asking that. He's like, I just want to talk about my serious movies right now. It's like,
yeah. He
whatever,
seems like a douchebag.
whatever, fucking Rogan. And at first it sounded cool because the whole story about him being a huge fan of Garth Ennis and Preacher, and everything it took for him to make Preacher and shit like that. It's like, man, this guy may be legit, but it's like, nah, he's full of shit.
Yeah, fuck him, man. Fuck you, Seth Rogen. He sucks. He doesn't seem. I can't deny. Like I like Pineapple Express. I liked At the World's End, but that wasn't just because of him. I mean, they were well written. They were funny comedies. But the other stuff, man, and yeah, he just seems like the Green Hornet sucked. And I'm a big fan of Bruce Lee. Obviously, Bruce Lee's like my fucking hero. So he fucking ruined the Green Hornet. The best part of that movie was the guy who played Kato, and that movie was just Seth Rogen being himself, and they just threw a Green Hornet fucking label on him. He ruined that fucking movie. It could have been a cool franchise too, man. If they would have done that right, that would have been really cool. They could have. I forget who owns the rights to that comic book wise with the Green Hornet. That might have been Marvel. I don't know. Maybe it's DC, but
I
because
think,
DC did Batman, right?
well, to be honest, because Green Hornet and the Lone Ranger were always related. Like
Yeah,
Lone Ranger was Green Hornet's uncle, so they could just be
yeah. I
free
do remember
range
some kind of
property
connection.
right now because Green Hornet was under
Yeah,
what you call it,
what's the term for
Sony,
that?
and
Eminent domain or whatever.
yeah,
Not
yeah,
eminent
yeah,
domain. Free domain. Free domain. Yeah.
something like that. Fuck.
Yeah, it's like
Brain
called like
fart.
free domain. Yeah, basically, there's no copyright on it.
Mhm.
Like that's the same thing with Batman. Like but like you can't do like obviously like the Batman suit they have today. Like the original Batman, the black and whites from the old days. That's why they did that because it was like eminent domain. I'm gonna sorry man, it's free domain or something. It's not eminent domain. That's like when the government takes your shit. But yeah, I hope they redo that, man. Obviously without Seth Rogen, man. They probably won't because the movie that they did flopped, but nonetheless,
They could.
maybe enough time goes by because of the popularity of Bruce Lee. Maybe do a TV show or something on Netflix. I don't know. Yeah, Seth Rogen sucks. He just seems like he would be a total douchebag to hang out with in real life. He just seems like he's a Hollywood snob.
Well, they all are. Eventually, every poutine who comes to our country and becomes a millionaire, they wanna speak for us.
Yeah. I always get a kick when like Canadians, come here and talk shit about America. It's like, well, why'd you come? Do it better over there. I would never like move to some other country and shit all over it, man. If my country sucks so bad, I got to go live in a different one. I'm not gonna go criticize them. That's pretty ignorant. And that's really popular right now. We got like British fucking talk show host Trevor Noah from he's from South Africa. He shits all over America. I forget Piers Morgan. He came over here from England. He was on CNN shitting all over America, saying we don't have a right to the Second Amendment. On and on. It's just like, hey man, stay in your fucking your utopian country if it's so great. Why are you fucking here? We got liberals here that they can fucking do your job. We don't need to import them. We got like a monkey here like that. Well, we can pay him a nice salary. He'll just say whatever we want with lefty talking points. We can, it's like we can put anybody in that chair. You don't have to import them. I don't know. I guess liberals they like hearing their brainwashed talking points in an accent every once in a while. Must be what it is. But yeah, I just love that Piers Morgan came over here on CNN and he had every fucking day. It was you don't have a right to own a firearm. Oh, the guns are killing everybody. No, and believe me, man, England. There's a lot of great people in that country. I'm not bashing England. I met some very nice British people online, comic artists over there and stuff. Cool people, man. But Piers Morgan, man, it's like, what the fuck, man? You're gonna come over here and talk shit about the Second Amendment? That's like me going over to England and being like, you guys, you don't need to have tea time anymore. That's gotta end, okay? Because I don't like it, me personally. Me the American. They'd be like, get lost, you bloody wanker. Fucking Piers Morgan comes over here and he's heralded as a hero. But then Alex Jones goes down there and just fucking, that was the end of that show, man. After Alex Jones fucking told him off. And that was pretty much it, man. That was like his show was shortly canceled after that, if you remember.
Yep. Well, it'd be like this simply, and it's like the back and forth argument about this. The Gun Rights Act is an old act, so is the First Amendment Act. Well, it only applied to certain guns. Well, the First Amendment only applied to journalism. You're not allowed to say fuck. In fact, rap music shouldn't be allowed. We should have restrictions on that now.
I think the founding fathers are pretty clear. They're like, a well-established militia. It was to prevent a tyrannical government. It's like the citizens need to be armed because they knew that the government always does take control of the people and use, the force against them. I mean, it's right there. It wasn't for hunting. If you didn't hunt, you didn't eat. And the founding fathers, they were all hunters. But like, yeah, there's nothing in the when you read the Bill of Rights and all that, you read the Second Amendment, nothing is there about hunting. It's literally about a well-armed militia. And, you can say you don't like that, but that's what it says. It's like, the Second Amendment is there to protect the First Amendment and all the other ones. The Second Amendment is the most important. Of course, it's like that's a last resort. That's why you have the ballot box, why we vote. But what do you do when you vote and then they still violate your rights? What can you do,
Yep.
Governments use force. Government, that's what they always do. Of course, how else do they control the people? Through fear, right? That's the big one. And they have soldiers with guns. right? And they control your money supply, and you're pretty much fucked if you don't have any way to fight back against that. If they decide to say we're going to come and take your shit and take you off to some camp, and as you know, man, it's like Hitler took the guns, and Mao took the guns, Stalin took the guns. Everybody that genocided their own country took the guns before they did it because they had to. And
Che Guevara
patriots in this country
banned music, burned book, and hung the gays, and yet he's the biggest icon of capitalism. Yes, and
right,
he's a socialist.
Good point, man. Yeah,
I
good
always
point.
use that. I always see that. I always see that as irony when people wear that shirt. And when I was a kid, I was like, man, I was stupid thinking that guy was cool. I had no idea who the fuck he was.
Right. Yeah, yeah. Well, I was lucky enough to live in an era where they taught basic stuff like that in my school. I went to pretty good public school as a kid. I went to Catholic school until second grade, but the public schools I went to after that because the tuition got too expensive for my parents. Um, was pretty good, man. But yeah, they don't understand, man. You ever notice, a lot of the far lefties are like, we need a revolution, we need to overthrow the right wingers. Well, how are you going to do that? You'd have to do that with a gun, wouldn't you? I thought you guys don't like guns. They never make any sense.
They don't.
What are they going to do?
Well, they're oppressed over nothing too. It's like, really, you're demanding revolution over an area where you're not arrested about complaining about being oppressed.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. It's circular logic, brother. Circular logic.
I was thinking the other day, Jesus Christ, I was playing a game with a guy who was butthurt about Trump being the president the first year in Michigan, right? He's from Michigan. He's sitting there out of nowhere going, we need to kill all these people. We need to kill President Trump. I'm like, hold up, motherfucker. Shut up.
Right.
You don't even know what you're fucking talking about.
I guarantee you, man. The Kathy Griffin, she can get a Secret Service knock, man. Like, you can't do that. You can't threaten the president. Secret Service will be fucking investigating you the second you do. It's the dumbest thing you can do. And why even bother? It's like you're gonna be on a list with the Secret Service, and they're gonna come knocking on your door. And yeah, man, like fucking, it's just hypocritical and it's disrespectful.
Yeah. How does speaking of which, going back to Johnny Depp, how do you think he feels now? He needs help from somebody to get him out of these false domestic abuse claims when he was on video threatening to kill the president too. Or no, going there needs to be a presidential assassination or some shit like that. And it's like, really? Now you need help because now you're falsely crucified for not doing shit, man. You didn't do shit. Did I lose you? I think I lost you. Did I lose?
All right, bro. I gotta catch the train, brother. My phone's about to die, and I still gotta make a call.
Yeah, my microphone died. I'll talk to you later. You have a good one.
Yeah, man. But hey, bro, thanks for having me on, brother. I really enjoy talking to you, man. I love doing this shit.
No problem. Good talking to you. You take care of yourself.
All hail, El Gargoyle. All hail, brother.
Hail.
Hail. All right. Peace out.